Who would you take in a fight, one gorilla or a Kog'Maw reroll? Alright, here we go. Oh, and he actually does hit the Aphelios too. So it is all about hitting this next Aphelios. I would hold all 4 costs that I can to thin out the board as much as I can, taking it a little slow, but we end up missing. We have we have 1. We just need 2 more. Can we hit it in the 2-star shop? There's 1. Just 1 more. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a VOD review of BoxBox. Now, I have not actually reviewed a BoxBox video yet, and today we will be reviewing a One Cost Kog'Maw Reroll game. Now, before we get into this, I do want to say thank you very much for the support I've been getting on the channel as of recent. If you want to know how to show your support, you can either like, subscribe, or comment down below. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can join the YouTube partner programs, and I would very much appreciate if you guys could help out with that. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. So now we see here in the video, we see a little quick scout from BoxBox. He sees that there's a lot of Kog'Maws contested. He's a bit hesitant on holding the Kog'Maws, I believe, from the video, but he ends up still holding onto them because he has the Vise. Now, let's get into the augments. Bulky Buddies, I don't think it's Bulky Buddies in this spot because it doesn't really provide that much help with direction to where he's going. He has a sort of AD line here with the Giant Slayer, potential Nash's Tooth, but I don't think Nash's Tooth is much of a good slam to potentially play around. However, I do know that it's not going to be item grab just because it's too RNG. Preparation, it could be preparation if we are rerolling the Kog'Maw because we will be having quite a lot of units on the bench. Oh, but we come across Pandoras Bench, and if you guys don't know Pandoras Bench, it has quite a high variance in terms of its success rate, or its win rate. However, in this spot, if he does end up rerolling, Pandoras Bench is pretty useful in getting those Kog'Maws. So it was a quick scout the lobby to see if it is 1, 2s or 3s. Doesn't go with 1, 2s and 3s. Yep, ends up going with Pandoras Bench. So we are looking to lock in the angle of Kog'Maw Reroll. Interesting, he makes a Ceres Gauge. BoxBox pulls up a tweet here showing that Ceres Gauge is actually a good item to build onto Vi, which is actually why he does it. I don't really know the details of the stats, but if BoxBox says, if Kevin Parker says it's good, I mean, I'm gonna go with it. The change of it to Ceres Gauge, the introduction of Kraken's Fury are what makes this comp strong. So Kraken's Fury and Ceres Gauge, I guess, is what makes it good. An insane tank with Sterak's +2 tank items, while Kog'Maw's consistent damage dealer with a Gwynsu's Kraken +1. Wow. Well, there you go. That is the main part of a Kog'Maw reroll. So that's a pretty good breakdown in part of the video. So as long as you have the Sterak's and the Gwynsos, I mean, as long as you have the Sterak's and the Kraken's Fury, it should be a solid composition. So I guess that's what BoxBox also saw. He saw he could make the Sterak's Gauge, which is why he opted to go down the Kog'Maw line. That probably was the reasoning for him to go down it. Now, if we look at these tweets, it says this is a very high tempo line. It almost never wins the game, but it's very consistent to get a placement between 2 and 5, meaning it should get you easy top 4s if your spot is good enough and you pilot it well. Yeah. Late game cap is either 4 rapid fire with Zeri, secondary carry, or 6 Vanguard on level 8 because it's very cheap and provides a lot of frontline for your Cog to scale. Cog can't really carry stage 5 alone though, so try to make items for a second carry like Draven, Zeri, or Kindred 3. Make sure to maximize your econ on stage 2 while holding Kog'Maw, Vi, Kindred. Okay, so yeah, this is just general playing through, like just holding, making econ and holding your one costs. And trying to not dip below 32 gold because, as you know, if you roll down past 32 gold, it will take you more than 3 rounds to get back to your 50 gold. So yeah, the main thing is to slow roll and hit your one cost. So that was a pretty good tweet that he brought up, actually. That helps me to break down this video a little bit easier. Now, I've not actually properly gone this comp myself yet, so this is also why I'm reviewing it, so that I know how to play it. So let us keep seeing what he's up to. Something I also actually want to preface is that in these videos are, I appreciate that you guys are actually enjoying these videos and watching them. And I'm not claiming to be a TFT god or anyone that is even good at TFT. However, I think if you are below the rank of master, I feel like these videos do provide some sort of value to the TFT community by breaking down these videos. Of course, I'm only a Diamond/Master player, so I don't know all the ins and outs like a challenger would. However, I think to the average player, my content can help with your gameplay. And if it does, well, I've done my job. I like making these videos, and I appreciate you guys watching it. So, real quick, just to address what just happened here, he takes out the Kog'Maw because he has a 2-star Rust. Way better frontline than just a 1-star Kog'Maw, because the Boombot, yeah, we do get a little bit extra damage from the Boombot. However, the 2-star Rust gives us so much more frontline, so it's a bit more worth in this spot. So that is why we end up going with the Rust. And the reason why we play the stronger unit is because we're actually on a win streak, which is why we want to maintain it. If we were losing, it might be different, so we might have actually ended up selling or making econ and holding something else. But yeah, as you see here on the Pandora's Bench, we actually have a Alistar 2-starred, because Alistar could roll into our 1-cost units, like a Kog'Maw, a Vi, and a Silas. I believe those are the only 1-costs. I mean, Kindred is flexible, so we don't necessarily need the Kindred, but if we hit the Kindred, that would be great, because we can replace the Kindred with a Draven or a Zeri, as we saw from that tweet. And here we go, opting to not make econ here, gets the Silas. Oh, I also just realized that the encounter, I guess, is one where you see 2-cost champions in your shop, which is even better for a reroll comp like Kog'Maw, so I guess this is a really good spot to be hitting Kog'Maw. And we see BoxBox hesitating to reroll the Kog'Maws, ended up just selling it for the econ, because he really needs bench space to hold these 1-costs, to prioritize them. He can just get the next Skarner. I think I misnamed the Skarner, yeah. He can just get these Skarners later on in the game, which is why he opted to sell them. He can hit them at 6, whereas while he's level 4, he wants to prioritize the 1-cost instead of the 2-costs. So now he is looking a little bit techie here, because he does have 1 Kog'Maw on his bench, which is a bit of... Oh wait, he has a champ dupe. That's great. So he hits the champ dupe, so that he has the 3-star Kog'Maw now. Oh, and a Kog'Maw comes onto his bench anyway. That's a little upsetting. He could have used his champion dupe on someone else. So that's a bit upsetting. However, we get to the next augment round. So here we have Mentorship, Mana Flow, and Not Today. So already looking at this, I don't believe it's Not Today, because we have no melee champions to really take that. I mean, you could probably put it on Vi, but it's a bit troll to put on Vi, because then you accidentally can de-aggro from Vi and get a enemy into the backline hitting your Kog'Maw, so you don't want that. Mana Flow is okay, but there's definitely better combat augments for this comp. Mentorship is also okay, but again, probably better. There are probably better combat augments for this composition. So I would be re-rolling all of them. It could be, I think it's big grab bag, honestly, because we need items, and it does help us with our frontline or our backline. This comp does require, yeah, quite a few items. I don't believe it's last stand, because if you're already losing at that point, I think it's already cooked. Yep, I'm pretty sure it's just big grab bag. He ends up going with big grab bag, and we end up getting frontline items. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, we can probably get a Warmogs on the Vi or a Spirit Visage. Yep, so ends up getting a Vow instead. We also have the Rod for a Gwynsos later on in the game. But honestly, not the greatest, but not the worst item selection. It's actually pretty solid. Opting to make 3 items on the Vi so that we can have a tanky frontline and have our Kog'Maw scale up with our AD stacking item in Alcrack. Now we're looking to honestly just keep trying to hit our 2-starred units here, and I believe push levels. We already hit our Leona, so that's pretty nice. That will be our next in probably, and looking for that Jarvan to get 6 Vanguard online. Here we are winning out this round, continuing to begin our streak, I guess, because it's only been two rounds. But we are on carousel round, looking for that Gwynsos, hopefully. I think someone's taken it, though. Are they? No, they're not. So, getting pretty lucky with getting that rod on... that bow on carousel, being one of the last ones out. We get the 2-star Scanner, and our board is looking really stable. We're looking in a really nice spot for this composition, with the 4 Vanguard and Boombot online. And I think I said Leona maybe next in. I actually believe it's not Leona next in. I think it's actually the Kindred to get the Rapid Fire online. I completely forgot that we don't actually have Kindred in. But here we are, we're seeing the Kog'Maw chomp away at the comp. And we are destroying here. Yep, opting to sell the Leona because it will be a while to actually get her in. And hopefully we do get her in later on at some point. Because by the time we actually do get Leona in, it will probably be around 7 or 8, level 7 or 8 that is. And we are only level 5. So hopefully we get her later on down the line. And it doesn't look like she's going to be a crazy contested unit in this lobby, as I don't see any Anima players or Marksman players. So that's pretty nice as well. It looks like he's got 4 Rapid Fire on his mind. So I do believe it may actually just be 4 Vanguard, 4 Rapid Fire that he's looking to get in for the next stage anyway. He gets another Kraken's Fury. He also gets an IE. It'll be interesting to see what items he actually makes here. Yep, gets the Rapid Fire in. I wonder if it's Shred. Does he ever build Shred? I wonder. I guess he's trying to look to see what items he does actually build on here. It looks like Biss would be Giant Slayer from the build here, but it does leave us with the QSS, which would be interesting to do. Maybe it's just a reforge of the cloak or the glove, but not necessary at the moment because we are strong and streaking. My man is just chilling, drinking that boba. And here we are for the final augment selection. Let us see what we've got. Okay, we've got Blinding Speed. I don't think it's Blinding Speed because we really have our items on Kog'Maw. Red, 1 buff, 2 buff. I don't think there's anyone in the comp who really takes red buff or blue buff well. Invested Plus could be pretty techie to push levels. We don't really need it to reroll our champions all that much, but we can actually use it and then use all the extra econ to level after. So it does sound pretty good. I would be looking at Invested and rerolling the other 2. But he doesn't actually. He rerolls Invested. He doesn't really want that. So he looks at Coronation. Coronation could be actually a solid item to get onto the Kog'Maw. But I don't know what you would take off. I don't think it's that. I think it's Final Ascension. I don't think it's Blinding Speed. The reason Final Ascension is because you wait out so long during the fight, and fights last so long because you have the tanky Vanguard that by the time it gets to Final Ascension, the Kog'Maw just takes over and wins. Or it could be Blazing Soul. It could be, yeah, I think it's either Blazing Soul or Ascension. He's looking at Coronation though. He takes Coronation. Interesting. I wonder why he goes Coronation. He opted for Coronation to potentially have a second carry, I guess. So yeah, he hits the Kindred, but he wasn't guaranteed to hit that Kindred. But I guess it worked out in the end. I mean, that's great. He gets a second carry. I would have definitely thought it would have been a different combat augment. Ops is split. I think that was 37 divided by 3. That is around... How much was it before? 13 gold? Yeah, that was a little less than just taking the 13 gold, but if he didn't take it, then the other 2 would have gotten way more gold. Here we are rolling down to get in our... I think he wanted to get that Jarvan in over one of his Vanguards. Alright, we're on Carousel round once again. I'm sure it's just looking for some sort of item to make, probably the IE, right? Well, not the IE, the Steadfast, the Stone Vest, I mean, for either the Steadfast or the Gargoyles. I really wonder what he's opting to do with these 2-star 3-costs. I guess it looks like the angle he's looking at is to 3-star the Brom for the added frontline. Playing with 4 Boombot at the moment though, before he does end up playing the 6 Vanguard, I think, is what his plan will be. This round looking a little bit closer than the others, but he does end up winning out this round. He does have that Jarvan on his board. Yeah, his bench. He opts to play 6 Vanguard. However, I believe he would be contemplating whether it is the Boombot over it. But I think the 6 Vanguard is just generally better. Also, you can sell the other units for more econ now. And it does look like he is looking to 3-star his Braum or Jarvan. I'm not too sure. Unluckily coming across this Morgana player positioned on the incorrect side because of Morgana's targeting, so it was not the greatest. We do have that 2-star Ross in our shop. Mr. BoxBox, what are you going to do? We're looking pretty healthy, can bleed out, like the tweet said, not likely to top 1, however, looking secure enough to top 4, because we have played so strong this entire game. The other players in the lobby are going to bleed out. Okay, opting to get some shred on, which is pretty important. More frontline items. And since he is rolling on 7, I do believe he is trying to 3-star his Braum. Quick scout of the lobby to see how contested Braum is. There is a 3-star, I mean, there is a 2-star Braum already in the lobby. We get beaten out by the Zed board, which is unlucky, because Zed can jump into our backline and kill our carries. We do have a Draven, so maybe the angle was to get Draven 3-starred. We have that Annie to 4-star, potentially, I think, re-rolling the Annie into the Zeri, ending up losing to this techie board. Unlucky. Getting a Zarya and an Elise on there. Opting to get 4 rapid fire in instead of having the 6 Vanguard. Quite an interesting play. Still rolling it down. Now this is a little bit of a techie situation because we are holding quite a lot of gold on our bench. I wonder if it is to just go 9 and get 6 Vanguard in and try and ditch the dream of Draven and Mr. Braum. Okay, looking here, probably another frontline item. Yep, Sunfire, so we can get some anti-heal on our board. And it's a 3rd item for the Silas. Opting to hold these Ziggs as well. Potentially looking to try and play around a 3-star 4 cost. I think that is what his play is, yeah. Looking for the Giga high roll game, I see. He manages to position correctly out of the way of the Sejuani ult. However, we still end up losing to this Morgana Bastion board just because it's strong. However, it has been nerfed a little bit, but it still is a solid comp. We are top 4, looking to try and hit a 3-star 4 cost. Looking like one more round and we might get knocked out. We're looking at the techie board. Can we beat this Gorilla techie board with the Radiant Warmogs on that big Gorilla? Who would you take in a fight, one Gorilla or a Kog'Maw Reroll? I think it was the Gorilla. So looking it's a top 3. So it's a top 3. The tweet was correct, and looking like this comp is generally a top 2 to 5 composition, as long as you're not contested, obviously. So it's pretty unlucky. He is rolling it. Okay, let's roll. Let's go back, because I was told that to keep up, we want to put this back to normal speed. I have heard it in the comments, so I'm listening. Here we go. So it looks like since BoxBox has lost that round, he is looking to try and 3-star a 4 cost. So let us see what he ends up doing. He ends up playing the Aphelios. He sees that Aphelios is uncontested. I believe he is opting to try and hit that 3-star Aphelios. So let us watch this majestic roll down. Alright, here we go. Oh, and he actually does hit the Aphelios too. So it is all about hitting this next Aphelios. He sells the Zed, I believe. Okay, no, he doesn't. I would hold all 4 costs that I can to thin out the board as much as I can. Taking it a little slow. But we end up missing. We have we have 1. We just need 2 more. Can we hit it in the 2-star shop? There's 1. Just 1 more. 1 more Aphelios. He is frustrated. Ah, man. Man, is it the bad luck of the videos that we watch? Also, is it just me, or do these fights look so slow now that I put it back to normal speed? Because I typically review these fights at like 2 times speed. Everything looks like it's in slow motion. No. Unlucky. Not the Aphelios 3 game, but still a top 3, like the tweet said. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, I would very much appreciate a like, comment, or a subscribe, or a share, or anything of that sort. If you want, you can donate as well, but you don't need to. Yeah, I'm trying to make it to the YouTube Partner Program, and for that, I need 1,000 subscribers and like 4,000 hours watch time. I'm at like 400 at the moment because I started like a couple weeks ago. So if you guys keep watching these videos, I'll very much appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you stick around. So thanks very much. See you in the next one.